Nightcap of the opening day of the Horizon League Basketball Championship, and inside Little Caesars Arena, the battle for Northeast Ohio shifts to the Motor City as Youngstown State and Cleveland State will meet for the rubber match here in 2018. Green Bay already into the quarterfinals with a win earlier this evening, and now for the second straight year, who will survive between the Vikings and the Penguins to make it into the Final Eight. Hi, everybody, with David Kaplan, I'm Will Haskett. Welcome back inside Little Caesars Arena. And Cap, last year, Youngstown State became really the story of the postseason around college basketball, what they were able to do by knocking off the top seed in this tournament. But to get there, they had to beat Cleveland State in this day. The word is survive and advance. Survive is always the key one.
Yeah, survive and advance means you go out and you know our season could be over tonight. That means we play as hard as we possibly can, and if we're alive, we get up tomorrow and prepare again.
The hero from a year ago, Cameron Morse. He's back, senior season, new coach, sort of a new style. He's embraced a sort of new role in this team, but man, you need someone to fill it up and get you buckets, that man will get it done.
Yeah, he's had to, because of injuries to the team, he has had to do some things in terms of run the offense, which has affected his scoring at times. But in a night like tonight, I would fully expect green light city, and he is looking to lock and load.
And a lot of people love the future of guard play in this league, perhaps for Cleveland State freshman Tyree Appleby, putting up big numbers as a freshman. He's a speedster. He's really fast and fun to watch.
Yeah, he makes the all-freshman team. That was easy. He won that like Secretariat at the Belmont. He can shoot the ball from way downtown. He's unselfish, he's very creative, and he plays with what I like to call swagger. He does not get intimidated despite his youth.
91st meeting between these two teams. They each won on each other's home floor during this regular season. It was an 84-69 win for the Penguins in this very same game a year ago in this tournament, and we are underway here at Little Caesars Arena. Two programs with first-year head coaches in their programs and returning some firepower from a season ago. They will get up and down the floor. They will shoot it a lot, and the first one is pure for Jalen Benton, a senior guard for Youngstown State.
Every bucket, Will, that they can get Youngstown that Morse doesn't have to do anything on, boy, that's just such a huge shot in the arm, because there are times where I had him at UIC, where he's just got to put the team on his back.
Kenny Carpenter is the leader of this team for the Vikings, their leading scorer. And now Appleby will try and match, and that misses everything on the opposite end, but it was last off the leg of Naz Bohannon, and it'll stay here with 7 to shoot.
Yeah, you don't expect it to be that far off target, and it hit him in the leg and bounced out of bounds.
Good set piece out of the timeout, out of the inbounds, but Bobby Word missed the jumper. Up ahead, Morse's pass intercepted by Carpenter. He gets it right back, and the high flyer finishes for the first two for the Vikings.
That's just an outstanding effort by Carpenter to get the hand in the passing lane, read the play, and then boom, recognition, defense to offense.
And he gets the defensive assignment on Morse on the opposite end. A good handoff. Benton thought about the jump shot. 10 to shoot. Bohannon goes to work. And it will head the other way to the Vikings. First year for Youngstown State head coach Jared Calhoun. 8-23 this year after 5 wonderful years at Division II Fairmont State.
He doesn't know what losing's like. Record at the Division II level was insane.
And taking over for Jerry Slocum, who hung up the suit after really turning Youngstown State into a gritty, strong, year in and year out, tough beat in the Horizon League. But Calhoun brings a completely different style. He liked to run it up and down when he was at Fairmont State. Their tempo numbers have shown that transition so far this year. And he's looking for the right combination of players as well. And they'll get Bohannon on a hold down low as Kenich was trying to get loose.
I think they got Benton.
It'll be Cleveland State ball underneath. And there's a look at Dennis Felton. He's been around the block a few times with many teams in Division I college basketball. His first year at Cleveland State after taking over for Gary Waters.
Yeah, Dennis did a really good job at Western Kentucky before going to Georgia.
Loose ball on the deck. It was a giveaway, but Appleby got it right back. And Ball ping-ponging around. No one wants to squeeze it. Good find down low. Carpenter found right. And the Vikings lead for the first time.
Ball's getting knocked all over the place. I saw you enjoying some Little Caesars between games.
Plenty to be had.
Plenty to be had.
In the arena that bears its name, for the tournament that bears its name as Bohannon puts Youngstown State back in front. This could be a seesaw back and forth affair. It was a double overtime thriller to close out the regular season last weekend. A 99-94 Cleveland State win at Youngstown State as Appleby drives through the defense, but Haygood held his ground, and then Appleby fouled him trying to get it right back. How about this one in that loss? Jared Calhoun lamenting this to me yesterday. They lost 99-94 at home in a game where they took 25 more shots than
That's
Cleveland
hard to
State.
do. That's hard to do.
Yesterday, that man saying, we turned the ball over, we were sloppy. They're a great offensive rebounding team. They get lots of second looks. In fact, they're third in the country in offensive rebounds. So Cleveland State has to protect the glass on this end of the court.
Jared's a funny guy. When you do a game at Illinois Chicago, I'm literally 5 feet from the opposing head coach, the visitor. And Jared Calhoun was as funny a guy as I've watched coach. He is something else, a character.
Bucket's hard to come by here in the early going. Kenich got his man in the air, wanted the and one, but still finished through the contact.
Yeah, he should have had the and one. He got popped, but did a good job to, as you say, finish right through the contact.
Morse goes right around him and dish to nobody, and then commits the foul trying to get it back from right.
Watch this. This is taking a hit. This is all the weight work. There's the pass. Here he comes. And watch this. Boom. He looks around, goes, are you kidding?
Between him and David Jesperson, we've already got a full highlight reel of pump fakes.
Yeah.
The first day of this Horizon League championship. They leave right alone. Kenich, freshman from Serbia, trying to show up those post moves. This time he gets the foul call but couldn't finish.
They've done a nice job. Feed the post there and then use my body, step under. Doesn't quite finish, but it'll go to the line. But they're making a concerted effort to dive the ball down to the block.
See the numbers on Stephen Kenich. Several freshmen that will be the future of this program, while it's Kenny Carpenter and Bobby Word, the seniors, who have done the lifting this year. Kenich a starter, Tyree Appleby a starter. Certainly some building blocks for Dennis Felton to build on for the future of this Cleveland State program, as Kenich now makes it 4 straight for Cleveland State. Jeremiah Ferguson now runs the point for the Penguins. Tyree Robinson asked for the clear out and traveled with it. You'll see a lot of bodies for the Penguins, as continuity has been an issue this year for Youngstown State. 16 different players have played. 12 of them have started at various points this year for Jared Calhoun's team. And really Cameron Morse and Braun Hartfield, the only holdovers from last year with familiarity.
Yeah, I thought you made a good point, though. Such a different way of playing than the way Jerry Slocum coached. Doesn't make one better than the other. It just takes time to assimilate everybody.
Carpenter pushed by Ferguson, and that will lead to our first timeout. A little sluggish for both teams in the early going. A couple of turnovers, some fouls to boot, but it's Cleveland State by a triple.
Don't forget, during a break in the...
It's always out there. The horizon. A reminder that our greatest goals are rarely attained. And as soon as you reach one, another emerges. But every day we rise and work harder, dig deeper, ask one more question, take one more shot in relentless pursuit of our Horizon.
You kids hear about this rad Little Caesars lunch combo deal? 4 slices of deep dish pepperoni pizza and a 20-ounce beverage now for just $4.
Get a Little Caesars hot and ready lunch combo for the incredible price of just $4 for a limited time.
Pizza.
Today, the automotive industry is undergoing dramatic changes with the rapid implementation of electrification and autonomous technologies. So as suppliers, we need to be increasingly fast and innovative to keep up with these changes. At Hitachi, we're working closely with our other divisions and research groups to implement these innovative technologies as quickly as possible.
Get a Little Caesars large hot and ready classic for just $5.
Pizza.
The 2018 Horizon League Championships are sponsored by Little Caesars, home of the hot and ready pizza. They're the transition, hockey, NBA basketball to the court here, and then Motor City Madness in this Little Caesars Horizon League Championship floor put in place as well. 3rd straight year of this everybody come together format after 2 years closing down Joe Louis Arena. A few more years to follow in the contract here, and no reason to suspect we won't be coming here for more years to come, as it's become now an annual tradition to get everybody together, neutral site, and a world-class facility to host this 2018 championship on both the men's and the women's side.
World-class is the operative term. This place is awesome.
Kennich shows the range. Fully admit, first time in the flesh seeing Cleveland State this year. And there's a lot to like about the 6'9" freshman, Stephen Kennich.
Look, it's going to take a little bit of time. That's also another change in style of play. They've done a really nice job at starting to assimilate some of these younger kids. I saw them at Illinois Chicago, and coming in, Illinois Chicago's rolling. They'd won 7 in a row at that point, and you think no problem at home, and Cleveland State comes and shoots the lights out and drills them by 10, and it wasn't close.
An 86-78 win. That was part of 2 in a row for Cleveland State, which won 3 of 5 entering the postseason, and they've had 5 players averaging in double figures over that 5-game stretch, including a road win at Youngstown State to take a little momentum into this postseason. 6 to shoot now for Youngstown State.
45 points.
I mean, it's already unusual. You and I didn't see a major upset of like a 10 over a 1.
Tried to feed it down low, and Robinson just couldn't get the feet underneath it. It's an interesting in the fact that both of the matchups here today, Green Bay against Detroit, Youngstown State against Cleveland State, were rematches of the last regular season game. They play each other back-to-back games transitioning into the season, and every coach man-to-man will tell you, I don't like it. I don't want to see a team that we just played, whether it was a win or a loss the day before. It's a beautiful feed, and Jamarcus Hairston's on the board.
Well, because if you lose, you're like, oh, God, I got to see them again. And if you win, I'm telling you how coaches think, they're like, oh, now they're going to adjust. Watch this pass interior. Interior passing, such a great thing. Now here comes the dribble. Look at this cut. Look at that pass. That's a magnificent feat.
Kenny Carpenter with the dime of the day so far. It's an 8-0 Cleveland State run. And get the moving screen on Youngstown State to try and add to it. Thomas drives, nowhere to go. Carpenter, pure. Timeout called by Jared Calhoun and the Penguins as that run expands to 11-0. Carpenter's first 3, and it's a 10-point advantage right now for Cleveland State.
Watch the last basket here. Really good job to kick it back, and nobody reacts quick enough to get back out. It wasn't a handoff, but it's as close to a dribble handoff as you're going to see. And he rises up and buries a triple.
35% shooter. Carpenter actually 3rd in the league in shooting this year, 47% for guys that had enough shot attempts. That's saying a lot when you're a 6'5" senior sort of wing and you're third in the league in shooting percentage.
We're seeing a lot of made threes. We saw 13 from Green Bay in the last game. I just think this is a comfortable arena to shoot in. I do. I think they've done a great job at, and I know the seats can be pushed back, but here everything's right on top of everybody. Imagine this packed for a Red Wings game in here.
And it's sort of that high, steep bank of seats makes it feel much tinier than it really is. Youngstown State has turned it over 5 times already in the game's first 6 minutes. It has led to 11 of Cleveland State's 15 points.
And a really good job on Cameron Morse.
Hartfield just earned 2 points on that drive. Carpenter wants another triple and gets it.
14-2 run.
And a smile ear to ear as he came back down the other way. Here's a guy that can get you out of it. Will they give him continuation? They'll say it was on the floor before the shot for Morse.
NBA, that's easy continuation. Would you like to see that in college basketball?
It doesn't make sense to me, but I'm a college purist. The contact did not impact him shooting the basketball. The contact came before he was shooting the basketball.
But if he's in the air, you give him the and one.
Yeah, if he's in the air. Yeah. Which do you prefer?
I like the NBA way. I become much more of an NBA guy, and I was always a college purist. And I like some of the, I would love to see be able on a timeout to advance the ball into the front court. That to me is a no-brainer.
Haygood had his prayer answered to stop another run, but Word can get 3 back the other way. Covington cleared the board. Morse through
and
contact from Kenich and a chance at a 3-point play.
He's looking to try and assert himself now. Banged his elbow as he went down here. But really good job. See how he picks his spot almost like a running back. Now he creates the contact. See, the defender there is backing up. The defender's got to make sure he sets himself up, gets a nice wide base, and then as I talked to you in the first game, reach for the lights. Hands straight up, reach for the lights, and let him jump into you, and then it's an offensive foul.
Morse averaged 23 points a game last year. Saw that dip by 8 this season as his development was more for the team's benefit than necessarily his own scoring benefit. But it's a funny feeling that it's going to take more than 15 a game if they're to win games in this tournament. Six to shoot. Carpenter right through the defense.
What a block.
And Haygood says no thank you. Covington up ahead. Just steamrolling his way towards Bobby Word, who couldn't get out of the way.
Nice job to get the block and then just, you know you're not going to charge, so take it right to the rack. Watch this block. Bye-bye.
Look at how quick Morse got the pass up ahead after this block. Ball
There's
goes right
the
to him and
block,
flipped
and
it
look
in.
how quick the recognition is. We used to preach, guys, recognition from defense to offense can give you such an advantage. They executed that well here.
And much of that is certainly the system of Jared Calhoun, where to be, loose ball or rebound situation to go. When you're transitioning from one style of play to another, how long does it take for players that have been in the system to assimilate to that new sort of style?
Depends what that style is. You know, I remember watching one team that was coached by a guy who it was, we're going to post a guy on the low block, we're going to bring it up the court, and we're going to take our time till we can get it into him for a shot, and then he leaves, and the next guy says, no, that ball comes out of the net, we're running at the other end, I want a shot in 7 seconds. That's so radically different from what you did. You know, if you have 2 running teams, you change terminologies, you change the way you play, but not the whole philosophical approach to the game. So it depends.
Bit of a track meet breaking out here. No one could find ways to score as Hairston was too strong. Morse. No, but there to clean things up, an offensive rebound and a putback to Covington. First, second chance points of the evening for Youngstown
Covington
State.
did a nice job to not give up on the play. Saw it coming short, made the play, and laid it in.
8-0 spurt here from the Penguins. Appleby back in. Almost got the soft bounce, and Hairston was right there and couldn't finish, but it was deflected off of a Penguin, and it'll be Cleveland State ball after the timeout. Both teams shooting above 50% from the floor. And a tight one here in the first half. The list that all parents want to see their children on, the Horizon League All-Academic Team. 5 men's basketball, 5 women's basketball student athletes selected by the league's faculty athletics representatives based on academic achievement and commitment, as well as athletics accomplishments. IUPUI Northern Kentucky well represented on the men's side this year, with Parker Ernsthausen also getting a nod from Wright State. So you got to be good at both. Good in the classroom, good on the court.
Okay, the name, like the other ones are like great. They did a great job. Parker Ernsthausen, doesn't he sound like he could be running for Senate or have an accounting firm or
I was more
law
going
firm?
PhD in physics. Doesn't that sound like a Nobel Prize winner?
Yes, I'm Parker Ernsthausen.
Yeah.
He just sounds brilliant. Yeah, my brother's an eye surgeon. I just never got the whole academic achievement award.
As long as it took you to spit out that sentence, we can see why.
Yeah, exactly.
Ball turned over, and the Penguins, in the midst of an 8-0 run, could tie this up with a 3. We'll see a lot of bodies off that Penguins bench as Noe Anaber was in for the first time and missed. Hairston struggled to get the handle and then struggled with the shot. Dennis Felton is furious with his big man for that one.
You look like you shoot.
Oh, now, let's not trade insults. It's only the first day. 3 is pure, and the freshman, Michael Achuche from Plantation, Florida, knocks down the triple.
That was pure.
Just a 23% three-point shooter, Achuche, ties it up. As always, a big shot, turning the defense on the other side. 3 to shoot. That one ripped away, blocked by Braun Hartfeld, but he had it taken right back, and Hairston is able to finish.
Wow, you guard for 30 seconds magnificently, and then give them a layup right back.
The double just never got there, as Jeremiah Ferguson just kind of kept dribbling until they let him shoot it. Home run ball to Hairston. That's an easy finish over Hartfield. Just kind of see where the season has been a struggle at times for both of these coaches. Good play for moments and then just full lapses.
Yeah, head scratching stuff.
Like that.
Yeah, like Freddie Keebler just reached up from the floor.
Who wants the basketball here? Hairston finally does. None of his shots have looked good yet. He's got 6, but those 3 made baskets have all been at point-blank range. Hartfield, good job to draw the D, and Achuche there to finish.
Nicely done. Good interior pass. And Achuche finishes. Did a good job just on a duck in.
Covington holding the body of Kashim Thomas. And that will lead us to another break.
When you get an open look to bury a 3, you get your feet set, and he just brings it up.
In 2006, the Horizon League Network was the first collegiate.
It's always out there. The horizon. A reminder that our greatest goals are rarely attained. And as soon as you reach one, another emerges. But every day we rise and work harder, dig deeper, ask one more question, take one more shot in relentless pursuit of our horizon.
Here in Detroit, it's time. Time to show the world what we've got. Because right now, it's game time, showtime, moving time, and time to experience Detroit for yourself. Time to taste it, hear it, feel it, witness it, and believe it. This is Detroit, and we're here to tell you, it's go time.
Pizza, so nice to meet you when I saw you at the party that day. You were high, you were ready, your taste was rockin' steady, didn't care what my friends might say. Tease me, please me, Caesars let you cheese me, you know you got what I like. You're my pizza, just $6 on my visa, and we can eat all night.
Try Little Caesars large, hot and ready, extra most bestest with the nation's most cheese and pepperoni at the nation's best price of just $6.
Pizza, so nice to meet you.
Pizza.
Knotted up at 22 apiece. Nightcap of this first day, first round of the Little Caesars Horizon League Championship with David Kaplan. I'm Will Haskett. A little 5-point spurt from Michael Akuche, the freshman for Youngstown State. Penguins trailed by as many as 11 early on in this contest and have turned things around. Some pressure defense. They've made their last 3 shots. They forced Cleveland State into 8 misses in the last 10 from the floor. Have turned the tide in this one pretty suddenly.
Taken 6 more shots, Cleveland State. 9 of 20 to 9 of 14. Rebounding is a 10-8 advantage for Youngstown State.
After that timeout, Cameron Morse back in for Youngstown State. They went on a little spurt with Morse on the bench, pressing without him, so they can get their scorer going as Ferguson brings it up. Quick fire. May have been too fast from Garrett Covington.
They got to get more shots from Morse. He has just not gotten real involved. I know the defense has been good on him.
Wright looking for something. Stand-up defense by Onneberg. 7 to shoot, and forcing it was Appleby, who I think got baited from the Youngstown State bench into thinking he was going to have a shot clock violation, and hits the high degree of difficulty turnaround.
Wow. Jared Calhoun looked at his bench like, did you guys tell him to shoot that?
Morse forced that one and then was fouled underneath on the rebound by Bohannon.
Take a listen. Because this ball's going back to the corner.
I don't think it was the actual bench, but you heard someone in the background yell 2, like 3, 2. And that's an old tactic. It's not the first time someone's done the premature shot clock countdown.
And you know, if he's been your teammate was trapped down on the low post, you're thinking, oh yeah, that clock's got to be expired.
Morse telegraphed that pass. And that's the 8th turnover by Youngstown State here in the first half. Kenich missed. Penguins trying to run. Morse. Carpenter traveled. He's trying to explain to our crew what he did.
He's saying, I put the ball down when I jumped not to charge into the defender, but he did shuffle his feet before he did that. Good look at Dennis Felton.
Wild drive, and Morse bailed out with a foul call. Morse is 1 of 6 from the floor. Missed all 3 of his 3-point attempts. has just 2 points, and will try and earn a couple here at the charity stripe.
Number 24, Morse, shooting 2 shots.
Morse, another miss at the free throw line. Only an 80% free throw shooter. He's scored second most points in Penguin history since they've been a Division I program. Only Kendrick Perry has more. Another deep run. He could get to the 2,000 point club for the Penguins, and that despite a drop off in scoring in this his senior season. Another lob up ahead, and Hairston right there for the home run ball. That's twice they've gone over the top of the Penguins' pressure.
To him.
Yeah.
That's just not turning your head and realizing what's going on.
Good feed from Morse. And good post-to-post passing, but too strong for Bohannon, and will head the other way. Both teams in the bonus. We've got free throws in the final 5:44 of this first half.
Youngstown foul, number 2, Hago.
Both teams offensively, Cap, not that bad. 53% shooting for Youngstown State, 48% shooting for Cleveland State, but this half just doesn't feel like it can get going. Like there is no rhythm for either of these teams yet.
Like in the first game, Green Bay had great rhythm, and then they hit a spell, but you saw rhythm out of Detroit. Here, neither team, it's like they're playing in mud.
1-1, and the front end converted by Bobby Word.
So Cleveland State, first 2 games of the season, 13 of 37 from the free throw line. Since that debacle of a start at the charity stripe, they have shot 74%. Much more respectable for a team.
Penguins were in transition before securing the rebound, and Carpenter traveled again. Cameron Morse is livid with his teammates for having to give up another defensive stretch. Jared Calhoun credits Cameron Morse with really accepting and understanding that this wasn't going to be a highlight senior year for him. He needed to be a leader. He's learning how to play with the ball in his hands a little bit more. They're trying to help him, perhaps for a European career.
Well, when you lose your
ball screens,
point guard to an ACL, somebody's got to step up and fill that bill.
Ferguson missing everything there. And you're talking about Francisco Santiago, who partially tore his ACL at the beginning of the season and actually tried to play through it. Played 8 games before injuring it further and requiring surgery. They're going to try and get him another year of eligibility, a 6th year next year, but he was really the guy that Jared Calhoun was excited to work with. A speedster, great ball handler, creator for a team that was going to thrive in this up-tempo system, and it just wasn't meant to be because of the knee injury to begin the year.
No, he's sitting right at the end of the bench. He's right there. And he's got a brace on that leg. See it right there. And he believes that they're going to give him a 6th year, and he's going to be playing next year. So hopefully for him and for Youngstown State, he does. Morse a little banged up. He got knocked down. He was down for a second. But Santiago, that kid knows how to play.
Illegal screen called on Bobby Word, but Jamarcus Hairston for Cleveland State. Cameron Morse took the brunt of the contact. Youngstown State's gone over 3 minutes without a field goal, and that ends here on a Braun Hartfield drive.
Seen a lot less in terms of total points from what we saw the first game. We have 170-some points scored.
Two rivals, two physical teams, battling to keep their season alive for at least one more day, and then trying to fight through the screen. Covington called for the foul, and that will send the freshman Tyree Appleby to the line.
Boy,
4-1-1.
It's getting choppy trying to get through screens. A lot of this, a lot of the bumping.
So really the future coach on the floor for Dennis Felton, Tyree Appleby, 6'1" freshman from Jacksonville, Arkansas.
So Morse, when he's guarded by Kenny Carpenter, is 0 for 4 with 2 turnovers. That it makes it really tough on him because he gets physical with him. He's got long arms. When he's guarded by somebody else, he's had a layup, he's had some free throws, he's got switched off on a pick, and he was able to get a three-point opportunity. But when you keep Kenny Carpenter locked on him, it makes it really tough on him.
Locked on him right now as Morse brings the ball up.
Kenny Carpenter out of Detroit Cast Tech.
Has the loose ball. Race up ahead, trying to go through Morse. Discarded him before it was blocked away by Hartfield. But there's Hairston to clean up the garbage.
Hairston never quit on the play. It looked like it was going to be a layup that he'd be able to complete. And Hairston right there, Johnny on the spot.
Cleveland State maintaining this first half edge. Lead has changed hands 3 times. Hartfield couldn't get him back within 5, but another offensive rebound. Robinson getting this one. And he'll have free throws after the break.
Never quit on a play, Will Haskett. Oh, my guy's got a layup. No, he doesn't, but I'm going to step up and finish it.
Just getting started in this Horizon League tournament. And don't forget, you can connect with men's basketball fans throughout the league all day today and throughout the weekend by using the hashtags HLMBB and hashtag MotorCityMadness. I have done my duty and used both of them in multiple social media posts today.
And I retweeted your social media post.
We are viral, as the kids like to say. Cleveland State and Youngstown State locked in a good battle. Rubber match between these two Ohio rivals. As Cleveland State's looking for its first win in a Horizon League postseason tournament in a couple of seasons.
I remember the days of Raleigh Massimino coaching here.
Tyree Robinson makes the first of the bonus. Had to look over to the sideline after making it. Maybe heard something, and Hairston one-hands the rebound. Active first half for Jamarcus Hairston. He's got 10 points, 3 rebounds, a block. Leading scorer in the game. Carpenter trying to get close to his teammate, and he surpasses him with his 3rd triple.
Carpenter's doing it at both ends. Locked on defensively against Morse, and that's his 3rd 3.
10-point edge for the Vikings.
11 points in the game, 4 of 6, 3 of 3 from beyond the arc.
Robinson up and underneath Hairston, and Appleby there to clean up on the strong side. Appleby drew 3 defenders wide open but unable to make him pay. Was Dontel Heisman.
We go back to, let's see what they're going to do here defensively. I think they're going to stay in this zone. I always liked changing defenses because it just takes you time to, what are we going to run? What are we going to recognize? It's a second possession of zone for them.
Morse drove himself right into that block. Good ball reversal, but Cash Thomas traveled. There have been 14 turnovers combined between these two teams. It's been pretty at times and, quite frankly, not so pretty at times.
Really good job by Hairston. They've done a real good job just knowing where Morse is at all times.
Morse, good feed down low, and Robinson right there. Hard work for the big 6'5", 220-pound bruiser.
He's a thick kid.
He did a double take at 220, more like 240. Shot clock under 10. Thomas, Hairston's in the post one-on-one, and he can't get it to him. 5 to shoot. Thomas, all sorts of contact, and it was knocked off the hand or the body of Jeremiah Ferguson. 4 to shoot for Cleveland State.
It's good to see they didn't bail him out with a foul there. I thought it was a good defensive possession as he turned the corner Ball got knocked out of bounds, but there really was no egregious contact.
Hairston gets it. Gonna have to heave it. Penguins don't have numbers. Ferguson doesn't care. And pushing off was Devin Haygood trying to get the rebound putback.
Youngstown foul number 2.
Again, nobody in the Horizon League better this year at second chance opportunities, but referee saying Haygood moved a man.
Yeah, I couldn't tell from all the bodies in the lane. Did he shove in the back before he got the stick back?
They say he shoved Kashim Thomas. We will now have 2 free throws, double bonus in effect now for the Vikings.
Number 21, Annenberg, in for Youngstown.
It's really a changing of the guard at Cleveland State. You got a new basketball coach. Their AD has been there now. I think he's completed 1 full year. Mike Thomas, who had a long run at Illinois, did a great job at Akron.
Really just being introduced at this tournament a year ago, and the transition between him and outgoing athletic director John Perry. Good pass out. Morris, that's the most open he's been in this game. He missed another 3. And then Anaber was held on the offensive glass.
Cleveland State foul number 3, Highsmith.
Fouls starting to mount for both teams. Each team with 3 players with 2 personals here in the first half.
2 shots.
Anaber just a 52% free throw shooter. Carpenter, that was a tough feed from Appleby. And they say last touch by the Penguins. Well, it looked to be off the fingertip of Kenny Carpenter.
Let's take a look again. That one's tough to tell.
So he got deflected twice. I don't know who had it last. Highsmith once, twice, no, and Hairston couldn't corral. Six-second differential between game and shot clock here.
Morris,
State would like to take it lower.
1 of 8 from the floor.
Kind of like Cam Chapman for Detroit Mercy in the first game. Just 3 first-half points. Chapman came alive in the second half. Youngstown State's going to need Morris to do the same. Good defense by Hairston to poke it out. Allow Cleveland State to bring Evan Claiborne in.
Back in for Cleveland State.
5 to shoot. Someone's going to get a shot up. It's Hartfield who does, and a chance at a 4-point play.
Just what they needed. Watch the quick pass to the short corner. Gonna swing the ball all the way back here. Morse has nothing he can do with it out there. Boom! Go right back to the corner. But just ticky-tack contact by Highsmith. I don't know what... We saw that in the first game. What guys are thinking, why you even get near a shooter in that soup. Get your hands up, challenge the shot, and don't touch him.
And a timeout with 1 still to burn here in the first half. Dennis Felton uses it to try and set up something here in the last 8 seconds of the first half. A little icing over the free throw shooter as well for Bron Hartfield, who will toe the line with a chance to bring his team within 5 heading into the halftime locker room. And that could be a big 4-point spurt for Youngstown State to build something, because it's while they rallied to take the lead after being down by as many as 11 early in this first half, it's really felt like a game that Cleveland State's more comfortable.
Yeah, you felt like they've controlled a lot of the offensive play. They've been real aggressive. But you feel like Morse can't go a whole game where he doesn't start banging some shots, right?
Scored 13 and 20 in the 2 matchups with Cleveland State this season.
I've seen him get 35, I think was the high water mark when I did a game. 35 or 36. That kid has the ability to make it from anywhere.
Carpenter, looks like he's going to take this one himself. A tough shot. Somehow got rim, and Claiborne couldn't get it up. And it will be a 5-point Cleveland State lead heading to the break. The Vikings shoot at 45% in the first half, but look, it was a back-and-forth affair that could go either way.
Yeah, it was choppy. There wasn't a lot of flow, but I got to think Morse is going to get hot. We're going to have a run. We'll see.
Nothing decided yet in this rubber match between the Penguins and the Vikings. 5-point lead for Cleveland State at the half. More still to come from Little Caesars Arena at the half. 38-33 Cleveland State at the half. Final game, first day of this Horizon League basketball championship. Women before the men, and a great weekend here at Motor City Madness. And pleased to be joined by Youngstown State's athletic director Ron Strollo, who, look, it's winter championship season, Ron, so I know we've got basketball fever right now, but you guys already have the championship fever up in Penguin Nation because of the indoor track and field, and I know it's such an impressive facility that you guys have to host every year, but then to take home the hardware as well, it's a double pleasure for you guys.
You know, first of all, we've been blessed to have that facility. I mean, the people in Youngstown have really supported us, and to be able to provide that for our student athletes and obviously for the students of the Horizon League is great. And you know, we've been really fortunate. Brian Gorby, our head track coach, has done just an unbelievable job recruiting just quality kids that have just gone out and competed. And for us to win both the men and the women, you know, is something that, you know, we're just so proud of our student athletes.
You see the smiles on the faces there again. 2018 champions on both the men's and the women's side in the indoor track season. What does that do for not just those programs, but for the department? When you see the smiles, that energy that comes back, how does that transfer throughout a program, especially when you've got other championships getting ready to start like this one here this week?
You know, we're in the business for these student athletes, and I always say, you know, it's the student athletes that are walking through your building that have won championships, and you're buying championship rings for them that are always smiling a little bit more. So, you know, those kids deserve it. They put so much time and effort into it, and we're really proud of them.
Third year here with Motor City Madness. We talk about the student-athlete experience in the first year in this building. What is this week like? Men's program, women's program, and to me, from a Horizon League standpoint, to have everybody together under one building, all of the administrators, all of us that get to cover the sport. What has this been like now that we're 3 years into it and we've got some rhythm to it?
You know, basketball's such a long season, and in our level, you know, a lot of our teams in the non-conference are traveling, playing money games, and you know, to finally bring everyone together under one roof is a lot of fun for our fans, and you know, it's basically a celebration. And you know, to have it here and the quality of a facility and the job that Detroit does to host this is amazing. And we're very fortunate to have our championship here.
Fortunate to have some time with you, Ron. Thanks so much. I'll see you on the Diamond this spring.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, that's Ron Strollo, athletic director at Youngstown State. More to come here from Little Caesars Arena right after this. We'll have highlight stats and recap of first half. Cleveland State leads by 5 here at the Little Caesars Horizon League Championship. 5-point lead for Cleveland State at the half, trying to win in the Horizon League tournament for the first time in 3 seasons on the back of 42% shooting in the first half. Kenny Carpenter leading the way. He has 11 points, one of 2 Vikings in double figures. We'll have your first half highlights, dive deeper into the numbers right after this. (38-33) Cleveland State by 5 in sort of a rough and tumble back and forth first half of play, getting set for the second half with David Kaplan. I'm Will Haskett. Thanks for staying up late with us for this one. And Cap, it was kind of an odd rhythm in that first half. Neither team shot it really poorly, but Look, Cameron Morris, 1 of 8 for Youngstown State. They don't have an alpha out there on the court right now. Kenny Carpenter looked like one for Cleveland State at times, but it came in spurts. There wasn't really a 20-minute good effort from either team in that first half.
No, I think they played hard. It was choppy. There was no flow offensively. And then when Morris struggles to that degree, he's a guy that can get you 40 points. I mean, this guy's a big-time scorer. He's 1 of 8.
All right, take us through the first half highlights again. For Cleveland State, they got off to a hot shooting start. Kenny Carpenter made a couple of threes. They were 4 of 10 from distance at the start. And they pulled away. They had an 11-point lead early because they were, from an offensive standpoint, very efficient in the early going.
Yeah, I think it was something like 16-5. That's an outstanding interior pass right there. They really did a good job at turning them over and then getting points out of it. One play, I think it was a 30-second great defensive set, and then they missed the shot. They steal it right back and get a layup. Morris just really struggling there. That was the one really sensational play that we saw out of him. He missed some open looks that you normally see him make, but I thought that the defensive intensity was really good on him by Kenny Carpenter. When he guarded him, Morris was 0 of 4 from the floor, and then there was the 4-point play at the end of the half.
Only 2 Penguins have made more than 1 field goal in the first half. There you see the numbers. Shooting okay for both teams. Pretty balanced across. These teams combined for 15 turnovers and scored 24 points off those 15 giveaways. So while teams were turning the mistakes into points, it was a first half with a lot of mistakes. 15 turnovers combined between both of them.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers. Rebounding, not really a huge disparity. Bench points, not huge. Points in the paint, not huge. I still think Morris is going to bang some shots in the second half, and we got a ball game. We'll find out.
Yeah, just 3 points for Youngstown State's top scorer on 1 of 8 shooting. Can he make a comeback? Can Youngstown State make a comeback? We answer those questions for the second half starting right after this. The Little Caesars Horizon League Championship sponsored by Little Caesars. Pizza, ready when you are. Beautiful view downtown Detroit. Refurbished area around Little Caesars Arena. And for the first time here in 2018, this new venue on display for this Horizon League Championship. We're Cleveland State trying to avenge a loss in this very same game a year ago. Youngstown State won this game pretty comfortably, 84-69 in the first round, and then went on to really shock not just the league, but send shockwaves through college basketball with a buzzer-beating win over Oakland in the quarterfinals. And will we have 1 or 2, the top 2 seeds, lose tomorrow? That will be determined here on ESPN3. Is Cleveland State good set piece to start the second half? Anthony Wright.
Really nice pass over the top, but the defender didn't turn his head. You got to turn your head and see where the ball is.
Oh, telegraphed. Wright has 4 to begin the second half.
Really good start right away. You can tell they came out locked in. He read that beautifully.
Tough handling for Jalen Benton, who played limited minutes in the first half for Youngstown State. Picking up 2 fouls. He played just 3 first half minutes. Morris, good dish. Bohannon couldn't make it.
Yeah, the pass was sensational. Did a really good job. They just haven't been able to make some shots, and he hasn't been able to get any shots.
Appleby, before the shot, traveled with him.
This is the first basket of the second half. Just watch the pass go over the top. You got to turn your head. 33. Reminds me of breaking down film. You're like, son, turn your head. Just get a hand up.
That's how you lost your hair.
Correct. It was gray, and then I lost it.
Appleby in transition. Good hesitation. He's going to go to the line for 2, and Benton has his 3rd personal foul and needs to be careful as he had some words for the official as well. Jalen Benton, we have to take a seat here for Jared Calhoun. He's a walk-on, senior from Columbus, Ohio. Played 40 minutes last week in the double overtime, scored 21, and he's going to be a non-factor in this game as he's going to sit again with foul trouble as Appleby misses the front end.
Well, I'm looking around just going, what a beautiful arena this is. I think it's the second largest hockey arena in the National Hockey League. North of 20,000.
Got plenty of space to hold all those Red Wings jerseys in the rafters that have been retired. Not to mention championship banners. Hartfield draws the defense. How does Cameron Morse get involved in this second half?
That's a great question. I knew you were going to ask it. I don't know. I mean, you can set all the high ball screens you want to try and get him looks. It's just nobody's making shots, and until somebody proves to you that they're going to make shots, you're going to shade everything toward Cameron Morse.
Good whip around on the pass by Appleby, but Wright wasn't quite ready for it, and Word too strong on the float. Morse, there's that high ball screen, but couldn't connect. Hartfield with his man down, couldn't really get his feet set to shoot it. He's barking for a foul call, saying that Word was preventing him from setting those feet. There's a throwaway by Carpenter. Hartfield, good dish, and that's a shot nobody can miss.
Well, when you run that fast break drill in practice, that's how you try and make sure you spread the court, make that defender commit, and then just dish.
4 points now for Naz Bohannon. The first field goal of the second half for Youngstown State. They're 1 of 6 to begin. Kenich. Morse just getting hounded. Tipped away. No over and back call. Now Morse is bumped by Wright and earns the call from the official. Jared Calhoun was lobbying hard over there to bail out his star.
Morse is going to sleep exceptionally well tonight. He is just getting pounded like a pinball. It's a sign of respect to compliment to his ability. But he is just taking a hit. I mean, boom, boom, boom. Here comes another boom. I mean, that's 4 hits in one trip.
And he's fallen flat on his backside 2 or 3 times in this game. There's another one. He goes to the deck and earns the 3-point play opportunity. Scorer's gonna score here, Cap.
I like this kid's mentality. Just never quit. A little fake, take the hit, kiss it off the window. I mean, that's just primo. Look at all the guys, everybody over to help him out.
Second foul on Kenny Carpenter. As that one spins in. Morse now with 6. He's labored though, 2 of 10 from the floor.
Can he get you 14 more points? Can he get to 20? We'll have some work to do.
Carpenter, what good use of a little tiny forearm to get enough space to float that one in.
Did you notice you got the little bump?
Subtle. But he didn't extend the arm, Cap. You extend the arm, you're going to get the foul called against you.
I didn't, and I just extended it on you.
You got 2. You had to sit here. Ooh, that is a really hard screen by Robinson. Just completely took Cash Thomas out.
Yeah, Cash is banged up.
They called Thomas for the foul, trying to come through it. Oh, no, the illegal screen. Yeah, that was.
I would say if they called that on him.
Yeah, they called the illegal screen on the hip check. Now the Penguins going to that full court. They got burned over the top a couple of times in the first half. Good lookout by Kenich. And the Penguins try and run. More speed advantage there. But ran into the wall of Kenich, but right there to clean things up is Bohannon.
Yeah, I don't know about the shot by Morse there. It was so contested, but really good job, Bohannon.
Bohannon 18th in the country in offensive rebounds. And a knack for the basketball. Talented freshman. Kenich wants it. Had it punched away and a foul called, and they're going to get Tyree Robinson for the contact. That'll be of the two-shot variety, so free throws for Cleveland State after the timeout. Clinging to a 4-point lead, trying to find some rhythm here in the second half. To the NCAA tournament, where the league has a storied history of success at the national level, including 2 appearances in the NCAA National Championship game. Additionally, 7 men's basketball programs have advanced to the Sweet 16. At the next level, a total of 23 Horizon League student athletes have been selected in the NBA draft, including 7 since 2010. To learn more, visit horizonleague.com. And we send our speedy recovery wishes to former Horizon League standout Gordon Hayward. Signed that big contract with the Boston Celtics, led Butler to that first championship game appearance when they were members of the Horizon League, and representing as one of a few Horizon League alumni still kicking it around in the NBA right now and playing in this arena at sometimes during the season, the home of the Detroit Pistons here at Little Caesars Arena.
Gordon Hayward is a heck of a player.
Good thing he gave up tennis. It was the right decision.
Yeah, I guess it was. I don't think they pay $100 and whatever million in tennis.
Yeah, Roger Federer would
beg to
disagree with that, but I think it was the sure bet, and it pays off. Kenich makes 2 free throws out of the timeout. Cleveland State has led for all 5 minutes of this second half, led by as many as 11 in the first half. Cameron Morse with Kenny Carpenter right on him, face guarding, and somehow left hand flipped it in over Kenich.
Okay, I told you he's got to get to 20 if they're going to win this game.
He has 8. Word up ahead. That pass intended for nobody. They say last touched by the Penguins off the body of Bohannon. That's a missed call. Officials are asking for help, and no one was there to see it. Word just threw this pass to nobody.
Let's see.
Yeah. Bohannon did not touch it. The pass was just so bad by Word. I think the official underneath it that had to have gotten deflected.
Yeah, it was just a bad call.
And the ball don't lie on that one, but still touched by Bohannon out of bounds. Will stay with the Vikings.
That's 2 now that Bohannon's feeling, wow, they threw one away, I didn't get it. Now I just lost this one off the rebound. And Morse has yet to hit a perimeter jump shot. Just saying. Gotta have a run coming.
Kenich trying to draw contact, but had it knocked away. Here comes Ferguson with the pull at his team. Morse! Oh. That was going to be right on cue. That would have been perfect TV right there.
It would have been. And it was online. It was just a click long.
He is 3 of 13 from the floor. Carpenter steps back against the mismatch against Haygood and made him pay.
Right back to 7.
Through again, and another tough left-handed shot that ends with Morse on his backside. Word up ahead, and Bohannon stripped him clean.
Number 5, that will be it for Cleveland.
But again, for Morse, everything he is really taking a beating. Here's the Carpenter to the step back. There's a triple, and then here comes Morse, and again, it's a heck of a tough shot. Ends up on his body again, laying on the ground. I mean, he's taking a beating. What's he at, 10 now?
Morse has 10. Carpenter has 16 to lead all scorers on the Cleveland State side, including 4 of 6 from three-point range. We have seen some really strong shooting from three-point range to start this tournament on a Friday night. Morse almost picked the pocket of Thomas.
And he knows it.
Now gets burned. Thomas drew the D. Highsmith through the lane. Not up to the challenge. Morse doesn't have to worry about Carpenter and draws a block. Well, that could have probably gone either way, as Morse was certainly the aggressor in that contact.
But I'm going to give Morse a lot of credit. He knows that right now my shot's not there. And he is going to get calls. I mean, that's a block. That is absolutely a block. He knows he's exhausted. He's taking a beating, but he's doing what he has to do.
It was not ruled in the act of shooting. 3 fouls on each team here in the second half. Morse stays dry from outside.
Yeah, not a good shot selection there.
Word right around Hartfield, and Hartfield recovers to block the shot. Arguably Youngstown State's best defender, showing it there. Morse dropped it, Kenich touched it last. We'll stay here with the Penguins.
Number 4, Benton, in for Youngstown.
Morse he's pressing a little bit. He's going to get a chance to get a breather. Tell he's banged up. His body is sore.
Number 3, Heisman, in for Cleveland State.
Had a couple of good looks from 3 here in the second half, and just they have not gone down. 4 of 15 from the floor, and with 3 fouls, Jalen Benton is back in for Youngstown State. See if he can cool his jets after exiting pretty hot early in this second half. Benton has sort of solidified the point guard role late in this season and lost it as he tried to drive down the baseline.
Hairston really did a nice job. Slide over along that baseline, take the driving angle away, and it led to the turnover.
Oh, beautiful backdoor cut. Look at Appleby hang in the air and finish. Boy, everything about that was pretty.
That was pretty.
The fundamental of the back cut and then the athleticism to finish, and then a 3 on the other end by Akuche gets Youngstown State back within 4. And a quick timeout by Jared Calhoun will take us to a timeout. The air up there for the freshman Tyree Appleby, his team ahead by 4. 2018 Horizon League Championships are sponsored by Little Caesars, world's easiest way to pizza. Final game, day 1 of this Horizon League Basketball Championships. 2 women's games in the books. Green Bay advancing on the men's side with a win over Detroit Mercy earlier this evening, and now Cleveland State and Youngstown State locked in a tight battle. And a chance for both these teams to catch their breath. We're in a timeout window. That was the first called timeout of the second half as well. So big stretch here perhaps for Cameron Morse, who remains on the Youngstown State bench to get his wind back, some energy in his legs, as his team down just 4 after the 3 before the break by Akuche. Now the defense for the Penguins pushing Cleveland State well out. 5 to shoot for Appleby. Boy, he looked so uncomfortable rising for that one and somehow found the hand.
It looked like he was going to lose the ball. And then he rises up and sticks it.
Benton a step back 3 to answer. Whoa.
I feel like we're watching the first game there for a moment.
Kenich is being held on the other side by Bohannon. I should say Covington. And that will lead to another timeout. So we come back to play, a couple of 3s, still a 4-point game on the other end.
The Horizon League and its member schools have made a commitment to team impact.
Youngstown State down 4, needing Cameron Morse to be the scorer that he is. He's got 10 points on 4 of 15 shooting, but David Kaplan has been tough sledding for Morse to try and get those 10.
Yeah, they've been real physical with him, and then, you know, they've contested everything. You haven't seen a wide open look. He's going to rise up here on Thomas, who's a smaller player. Still a really, really tough shot to try and complete. He has got to hit a couple of shots. He's 0 of 6 from beyond the arc, and that's just not him.
And Morse, the hero a year ago, good scoring effort, although in a supplemental role in beating Cleveland State in the first round last year. And then, boy, he was just the man in that takedown of top-seeded Oakland in the quarterfinals a year ago. Just couldn't miss from the field, and then when the entire defense expecting him to put up the final shot, swelled to him, made the pass. It was the assist that led to the layup to win it at the buzzer last year, and what became a signature win for the program, signature moment for Morse. And Braun Hartfield, trying to have a signature moment right now, has drawn the Penguins within 1.
Every time you think they're going away.
It's an ill-advised shot from Cash Thomas.
Yeah, Dennis Felt just threw his hands up and said, "What are you doing?"
Jared Calhoun calls for a Euro. Somewhat fitting if Morse could hit a perimeter jump shot here to give his team the lead for the second time here today. And he's hand-checked by Carpenter. He picks up his 3rd.
See, what Morse is able to get is, those are reputation fouls, too. Officials know. They know who the scorers are and who the focal point of a defensive attack is. Carpenter's like, "You're kidding me. I didn't touch it."
And Morse has been knocked to the floor a few times. He doesn't complain. He gets back up and keeps working, which, again, there's a psychology to that.
Yeah, I like his composure and just how he carries himself on the court.
Benton got his own miss. Wide open 3. That one rimmed out for Makuche. Appleby, boy, he disrupted everybody and then leaves it off for the Kenich easy deuce.
What a gorgeous pass.
Like you want to see more from Tyree Appleby. He has had some big plays here the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Man-to-man again out of Cleveland State. It's their staple.
And volleyed around.
He wants to go up here, right?
Got Carpenter in the air, drove through the defense. 3rd time's the charm for Youngstown State as Akuche will head to the line. How about this dime
Just
from Appleby?
watch this pass. I mean, that is just magnificent. Good catch, good finish by Kenich. You have to be alert when you play with a guy like this.
Appleby has 10 points, 4 assists in the game. 1 of 4 Vikings in double figures. Kuche has 9. It's Hartfield's 11 that paced the way for Youngstown State. And we mentioned the depth that Youngstown State and Jared Calhoun have. Penguins have played 10 players in this game here tonight, and all of them have scored. Back to a 1-point game. Appleby says, "I'll take care of that."
This kid's a stud.
Trying to lock down Benton. Morse had to drop down, couldn't get it. Benton, great head fake. And another putback. This time it's Bohannon who crashes.
Hanging right there, a 1-point game. Again, offensive rebounds, 10. 11. Can't trust the stat monitor all the time.
By Evan Claiborne. By the way,
trying to read your guys' sign language.
9-0 second chance points for Youngstown State. This is what they do again. 3rd in the country in offensive rebounds. And they're not a tall team, Cap. That takes discipline, coaching, effort, all that goes into it to be a good offensive rebounding team.
I mean, such a different game than what we saw the first game tonight. We've got 57 points in the paint between these two teams.
Youngstown State has not led since 5-4, 2 minutes into the first half. And Morse just couldn't wrap that pass around to Bohannon.
He had him, too. He had him open.
A game that has just felt a little off in terms of rhythm, but it's building to a crescendo right now, Cap, where you just feel like there's going to be a big winning moment. Plenty of seniors on both sides, careers coming to an end for one of them, and for one group of them tonight. Poke away, 4-on-2 here for Penguins. Hartfield leaves it for Benton, who didn't want the 3, instead goes right to the rim, but there's another cleanup. 11 second chance points. Akuche is good for it, and the Penguins lead for the first time since the early going.
Dennis Felton needs a timeout. You get Wright yelling at Carpenter. You got to get a timeout here. Good call, Coach.
Felton gets it, and we will take it with him. Continuing to crash, Youngstown State has clawed their way back to a 1-point lead. Tight game, season on the line, and as you would expect, tempers flaring a little bit here before that timeout for Cleveland State.
Watch the middle right here. Watch the assistant coach in the gray. He is none too pleased. As you had Wright and Carpenter jawing at each other, and he immediately made sure that got addressed.
You go all the way back to 5-4 early in the first half. The last time Youngstown State held the lead in this game, but now a 1-point advantage. Cleveland State trying to provide the 5th lead change of the night. Still tons of time in this game that has developed into a nice little slugfest here in the second half. Morse all over Carpenter, goes right through him. Got his own miss, and he's going to the line.
The intensity. You watch the scrum inside here. Carpenter turns the corner and then just gets hacked right there. You know, people who've never been a college basketball coach or been around it, they don't understand. It's not hang a whistle on your neck from 3 to 5.
Really?
It's 24/7. And when a player has an issue, you may get a phone call at 11. Player unfortunately does something wrong, you may get a call at 2 in the morning. You're up to make sure they're in class. You're up to make sure practice plan's done. You're making recruiting calls. You're dealing with alumni. You're talking to the faculty. You got to meet with the AD. It never stops. It's 24/7. And when you see your guys yelling at each other, assistant coach said, I'm not going to have it.
Buckle your seatbelts, folks. Look at the recovery by Hartfield, and cannot pick up the loose ball, or does pick up the loose ball. And then a timeout was whistled by Youngstown State. Hartfield gets the timeout. I thought Carpenter was going to go coast to coast and flush this. Look at the speed and the recovery by Hartfield to come back, get in position, and then cleanly block the shot.
And then he can't touch it because he's going out of bounds, and he knows it. He has to reestablish his feet first and then gets the timeout.
No one there crashing for Cleveland State at the loose ball. You saw Dennis Felton running in on the side to try and call it if he didn't reestablish, but he did, and Felton was the closest Viking to the basketball.
Well, it seemed like, maybe I'm wrong, Carpenter was gathering to go either make a dunk or a layup, and just his timing was off.
See words of encouragement from Francisco Santiago to Cameron Morse. Penguins ball, down a point. getting into Morse time. Again, this team has certainly started to transition away from the Cameron Morse era, but postseason, senior, needs shots. He yields this time, driving through the lane. Bohannon was fouled. Late whistle, and Cleveland State wonders why.
Cleveland State foul number 2, Wright.
Anthony Wright gets called for the foul.
Let's see where the foul is, right there.
Shooting for Youngstown.
Even though he was vertically jumped into him, was the explanation. And Bohannon, just a 57% free throw shooter, member of the Horizon League all-freshman team, and again a high motor rebounder at 6'6", 230. Don't see many freshmen with a frame like that. He is going to be a beast for years to come in this league, and he ties the game at 60 apiece. Morse battling through 2 screens, altered that shot. Volleyed around, loose ball, tipped out, last touched by Youngstown State. I think there's some emotions running high right now on the court here, Cap.
Amazing, because neither of these two teams, let's see where this, I think that went off the leg of Carpenter.
Yeah, I agree. Carpenter gets the inbounds, gave it up to Kenich, and won as he fights through it.
You know, at the start of this, if I said to you, okay, pick a team, we'll both pick a team who's going to win this tournament. Neither of us are picking Youngstown or Cleveland, and they are playing like their NCAA lives depend on it, which I love to see.
People always say expand the NCAA tournament. It is expanded. It started this week for all 10 teams in the Horizon League.
Did.
If you want to make it to the final 64 teams, you got to win some games this week. Against teams you already know. What could be easier?
It starts right here.
There you go. Kenich could not convert on the three-point play. Benton wants Morse to get clear, and Appleby gets called for holding. That is the 7th foul against Cleveland State, which will be one of the bonus for Jalen Benton.
Appleby's asking, what did I do? And the official's saying, you armbarred him. You cannot armbar. Official Will Haskett doesn't agree.
It's Jalen Benton, the senior from Columbus, Ohio. He's been getting late starts. He's averaging nearly 14 a game the last 3. He's a 63% free throw shooter and a long wait here before he gets his first attempt. And at one point in time this season, there were 20 players on the Youngstown State roster. Walk-ons, trying to assemble, and Benton misses the front end. And right now, a 2-possession lead for either team would feel big. Carpenter right through Morse, who kind of tried to pull the chair, and Carpenter still finished.
Carpenter's got to be careful. He's, you know, turning to the official and saying something to him, and you don't want to force the official to give you a technical at this point. You just can't make that mistake.
Right through the lane, Bohannon, and one. He got it in somehow through the contact from Kenich, and a chance at a three-point play.
Oh, shot. Turn the corner, and watch how he just kind of hooks this ball home. Here he comes, and just gonna throw it up. Good things happen.
That's a 3rd foul on Kenich. And Bohannon with the chance to bring them within 2. This is a brutal, physical affair to watch right now between these two teams. But you know who's loving it right now? John Brannon, head coach at Northern Kentucky, whose Norse will play the winner of this one tomorrow.
He's saying keep beating on each other.
Take all the energy out of it.
That guy can coach.
Carpenter hand checked by Hartfield, and he'll have one of the bonus.
I think they're exceptionally well disciplined. Gives guys freedom, but they play within a structure. That's a hard thing to do.
These teams were 0-4 against the top team in the Horizon League this year.
Number 4, Carpenter shooting
Throw those records out the window when it's March. Those 1 seeds have not been protected the last couple of years when it comes to this tournament. Carpenter earns the backside of the bonus. 21 points now for senior Kenny Carpenter.
What up? What up?
Kenich fights high through 3 red jerseys for the rebound. Kenich. That one's swatted away. Saved by Appleby. Morris called out for the travel, then poked it away. Trying to run up ahead. Appleby's going to try and win it to him, and it's last touched by Morris. Lots of bodies colliding, and Morris, who rarely loses his composure, has to be addressed.
All right, I don't know how you don't call a foul here. There's Appleby directing traffic. Now he's going to lose the ball right there. There's the pass up ahead. That's a foul. That is a clear foul, and it is. You cannot miss that call at this juncture of the game, especially.
So a big call break for the Vikings, playing with a 2-point lead, nearing 4 minutes to go. Appleby. Wow. Kench has been just strong the last couple. Somehow threads the needle again to Hairston. Boy, Appleby has seen passing lanes that most mortals would never dare to try and thread. It's going up. Oh, he double dribble. Doesn't get the roll, and Morse comes away with the loose ball.
Jared Covington, let's go. Push the tempo.
And Morse does, right to a cutting Bohannon.
And we're back to level, as they like to say.
These teams are absolutely gassed. Appleby threw and drew contact by Haygood. He'll have free throws, and both teams will try and catch their breath heading to the break.
This is a primo play here. Step right between 2 defenders. Let me tie it up, baby!
Youngstown State has fought back from down by as many as 11 in the first half. In a game now where we have had 5 lead changes, 6 ties. The most recent one coming right now with David Kaplan. I'm Will Haskett.
You're working with my guy Tim Doyle tomorrow.
That is correct.
TD had the best hair in the last 20 years in the Big Ten.
Going to go to the bullpen tomorrow as you head to Dayton for other responsibilities. I'll see you right back here on Sunday, partner, for 4 new teams. That's the interesting aspect of this week. The breaks, the delayed start for seeds 3 through 6. It's trying to find the perfect combination to provide
the best
benefit
product
for you winning during the regular season, but then also giving everybody an opportunity to win in the postseason.
No question. But I think you made a good point. NCAA tournament starts now. You win 4 games, you're in. But you and Doyle have good games to call tomorrow. Tim was a really good player at Northwestern. I called a lot of his games. Always enjoyed it.
I'll be the first to tell you that. Appleby?
He was one of the rare guys. Literally, you'd be in this position right here at your broadcast spot, and there'd be a dead ball like this, and he'd come over and engage with the announcers.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Appleby pure on both of those. And now where does Youngstown State go to try and draw back in? Morse trying to shake Carpenter. Or just met by 3 different white jerseys. Oh, great find to Bohannon. Muscles his way up and in to tie it again. Appleby was helpless.
That's a Dunkirk. He's got no chance to stop him down there.
Strong Academy Awards reference coming up.
There you go.
Carpenter reclaims the dribble. Word has been very quiet. Just 1 point, hasn't made a field goal. Hairston.
I think he's in the restricted area. He came over, did a nice job to set himself, but I think his feet are in the restricted area.
And also watch if Covington gets there late. Again, if the player's in the air, you have to be set before he leaves the ground.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. Did his feet get out of the restricted area? But Hairston is already making his move and he's left his feet. You can't slide in underneath.
You can't set while the player is coming down. You have to have been set in a position prior to that. And Hairston is here on the first. Just a 58% free throw shooter. He's had himself quite a ball game. 11 points, 4 rebounds. Throw an assist as well and make it a dozen.
Well, both teams under 500 significantly, rebuilding their programs. You tell them this game doesn't matter. These kids are playing their tail off.
Norris trying to shake Carpenter and finally has to just come and get the ball.
Got to get him a high ball screen and then get a look.
Boy, great interior passing, but the finish not there for Hager.
God, you got to make that shot.
2 minutes to play, and Cleveland State looking for a little bit of breathing room. We've got Hartfield now on Carpenter. Seven to shoot, speed mismatch here for Appleby. Hairston has to hurry. Dunked in by Wright!
Boy, out of nowhere, he explodes to the rim.
2-possession game with 90 seconds to go. Toss out, wild shot. Not what Covington wanted from three-point range, but they get the reset. And then Covington's fouled by Appleby trying to pick his pocket. All right, the extension ladder out for Cleveland State on the other side.
Well, this is just finding a way to finish with authority. Hairston comes in, nobody checks out right, and he finishes.
Watch him start his run. He started his run 20 feet from the basket and timed it perfectly.
See, if you're a rebounder, you can't stand under the rim and just watch the ball. Look for a body and check him off.
69% free throw shooter is Garrett Covington and earns the bonus. Fighting for it, Bohannon gets down and dirty on it, wants a timeout.
Got it, I believe.
And they say there's somebody on the line. Joint possession underneath. Watch Carpenter's feet.
They've got to go to the monitor for this.
Watch the feet of Carpenter. Oh no, it's tipped out. Ball's loose on the sideline, and they say it was Carpenter who kicked it underneath, and the officials will go and look at the monitor. Now remember, the big key here is official standing right on top of it, and the call said that it was last touched by Cleveland State. So we'll have to see video evidence that would overturn. It's a huge call with 62 seconds left in this game, but I thought you could see maybe Carpenter's foot underneath the leg here of Bohannon that squirted this ball out of bounds.
All right, watch his leg. Let's see.
His foot right
it's
there.
Absolutely.
His foot. That's a good call.
That's a great call. That is a really, really good call that he kicked it out of bounds.
And to see that in live action. Call is confirmed after looking at the monitor.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that official's got the ball on the baseline. That was a magnificent call. Got a bunch of bodies down there like a scrum in rugby trying to come up with a loose ball, and he saw that. Well done.
And huge for the possession to stay here with Youngstown State down a 3.
They want to get Morris a shot here.
They'll get one for him. Almost banked it in, but that kind of the way the day has gone for the Penguins. Need a stop here.
Oh of 7 from beyond the arc.
Carpenter.
4 of 16 overall.
Word thought about the 3, instead backed it out. Appleby's going to go one-on-one against Covington. Tried to shake him, and he walked.
Traveled.
Boy, great defense by the freshman. 6'5" Garrett Covington hanging with the speedster Appleby. Timeout, Youngstown State. And now this is the interesting question for me, Cap.
You do not go for the 3 here.
Right, that wasn't my question, but that's okay. I like it. I like the answer. If you were to go for a 3, do you keep it away from Cameron Morse? Do you go somewhere else if you're Youngstown State to get a 3? He's
still my guy.
7.
Still my guy. If I'm going to take the 3, look, I've always believed here, you lengthen the game. You want to give your team a chance. So if you take a really tough 3 and you miss, now you got to foul, they make a free throw or 2, and it's a 2-possession game, and your percentage chance of winning just plummets. Take the ball to the basket. You can always throw it back out to the 3-point stripe, but give yourself a chance to attack the rim. You might get the old-fashioned 3-point play, but get the best shot opportunity. 2 or 3 doesn't matter to me because I got enough time. Under 10, you got to go for the 3. At 24-3, take it right to the rack and try and score.
Youngstown State is led by the 16 points of Naz Bohannon, who is almost 10 points above his season average. They are 6 of 20 from 3-point range, with Hartfield, Benton, and Akuche.
Who was the game? Was it Virginia 2 nights ago? Down 4 with a second, with .9 left, and won the game.
Hartfield looking below. He got in the air with no one to pass it to and turned it over. And now Carpenter will be fouled.
Youngstown foul number 33, Bohannon.
That's a shame for Youngstown State. They had the play. Hartfield was looking for the slit, but was too dedicated to seeing it through instead of seeing the floor. By the way, the 16 points for Bohannon is a new career high. And Carpenter with a chance to make this a 2-possession game, 75% free throw shooter.
He's had a really good night offensively, and I think even more impressively than his 21 points, defensively. It's been great.
He's been locked down on Cameron Morse on the other side. Morse 4 of 17 from the floor. 10 points.
Step in. One shot.
Again, the second most prolific scorer in Youngstown State Division I history. Held in check tonight. But a miss by Carpenter gives him hope. Morse has got to hustle. Pulls over Hairston. Why not the high degree of difficulty? You got to get it in. You got to get a foul. Appleby is quickly fouled. It was a violent collision. With that 3, Cameron Morse just tied the Youngstown State all-time record for made 3-pointers at 232. None more difficult than this one off glass.
I mean, he's been 0 of 8 at one point.
And now he's 7.
0 of 7, now 1 of 8. Bangs that one in off the glass, and now, whether they make the 2 or not, you have a chance.
Guarantees that you're going to get at least a shot for the tie here with 6.7 to go. Youngstown State is out of timeouts.
Short.
And they cannot set the offense here. It would actually almost benefit Youngstown State for Appleby to make it, so they get an inbounds pass. A miss here in your full scramble mode for the Penguins. That one is off. Morse has it, a chance to win the game. Morse working quickly, floats it up at the horn. Tip up is missed. Bohannon was there and short-armed it at the buzzer.
Wow. They got a good look for Morse, but they got an even better look at a tip back and couldn't get it to go.
A season defined by offensive rebounding prowess right in his hands. And I don't know if he was trying to beat the clock or what.
I think his teammate also was going for the ball, and the two of them collided a bit. I think Haygood and Bohannon both thought, I got a shot at this. And the two bodies came together, and they missed.
So close. But Cleveland State survives by the skin of their teeth. And the Vikings will get a date with top-seeded Northern Kentucky as a day of chalk, Cap. How about it?
How about a day of chalk? And tomorrow you got two tough matchups. Wright State is a tough matchup for Green Bay. And Northern Kentucky, a really tough matchup for Cleveland State.
22 points for Kenny Carpenter. He keeps his career alive for at least one more day as the Vikings win a Horizon League tournament game for the first time in 3 seasons. What a day of action, and we're just getting started. For David Kaplan and our entire crew, I'm Will Haskett saying so long from Little Caesars Arena. Cleveland State and Green Bay advance. 8 teams remain. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the start of the quarterfinals.